This is our kitchen. This year I didn't have the opportunity to have a spare bedroom as our greenhouse. So I was sprouting my seeds in the window, and so I had decided to go ahead and make my own greenhouse. And what I did was I took a curtain rod and went to Walmart and bought some of this plastic wrap, and I took a curtain rod, I just kind of hemmed it there, and I hung it from the window. And then I went to the local grocery store, Aldi. You can get them at Lowe's. You can get these metal racks, and I just put it in a south-facing window, and I put the plastic over it. It makes a mini little greenhouse. You get the benefit of the sun. I have a thermometer that hangs in the greenhouse. Obviously, I've put up some grow lights and a heater in there at the bottom, and I try to keep it steady between 80 and 85 degrees for the tomatoes. These are all the tomatoes that I'm sprouting right now. These were planted on March 13th, and today is April 9th, so they're maybe about 3 weeks old or so. So here I have Rutger tomatoes. They're all doing very well, and in this tray I have Roma tomatoes, and we have cabbage that I'm doing the mass planting or propagation or whatever. But anyway, Laughing Dog Farms, you know, says that you can go ahead and put all your seeds in a container, and then as you're growing them and they get ready, you can peel them apart and you can plant them in a different pot or whatever as they get older and big. But I found out that with the cabbage, if you try to do them like at this stage, where they're very brittle, they have a tendency to bend, and then once they're bent, you can't really do anything with them. This is a tray of some type of cabbage. It could be Brussels sprouts, it could be cauliflower, something. And then in this tray right here, we have some peppers. You can kind of see them all the way back there. These are actually the California Yellow Wonders. And we have more tomatoes. Here we have some more peppers growing in this tray. And here's another bucket where I've mass populated, or whatever you'd like to say, but this is a bucket. It's an ice cream bucket that we used. I have a garden journal that says everything that I plant. Sometimes we'll write it on the back of it or on the bucket or piece of duct tape or something, but I didn't do it on that one. And this is our Roma tomatoes. You can kind of see them. I put a little piece of duct tape right there that tells me what they are. And that's the greenhouse for the kitchen. And as the plants get bigger, I raise the lights up. I like to keep them maybe an inch or two. These are a little bit higher than I normally would want, but they're getting ready to be planted outside, maybe hopefully within the next 2 weeks. Our last frost date here is anywhere from the 15th to the 20th, and I'm planning to have start hardening them off maybe next week, putting them out on the porch, letting them get used to being outside. There's probably 200 tomato plants here in the kitchen. There's probably 130 pepper plants and several hundred cabbage varieties. And then I'll show you what the living room looks like. Greenhouse in the living room. Right now it's Lent, so all of our crucifixes and statues and things are covered. We have a shelf with our family pictures, and obviously the Blessed Mother's there in the corner covered up. But what I want you to see is her other greenhouse here. These plants were started the end of March. Some of them had been maybe started the first part of April, so they're all very little. We have some more pepper plants and some Copenhagen cabbage there. And up there on the top shelf we have more cabbage. So our tomatoes, you can see how that they're going towards the light. Here we only are using the single lights. And we have a tray of tomatoes in peat pots from last year. These tomatoes are actually the ones that I was you know, plucking out. If there's more than 2 plants in a peat pot, I was taking the weaker one out. Wasn't being too careful about the roots or anything, but my daughter went ahead and planted them for me in these old peat pots, and they are just doing wonderful. They're getting strong and getting big. There's some more peppers right there. There's some type of cabbage. We have some forget-me-nots in this one. And we have right there in that other lard basket or bucket is some more premium flat Dutch, which is personally my favorite. And then of course we have the heater on the bottom. The broccolis and the cabbages, they don't need to be as hot as maybe your tomatoes and your peppers. So we keep this one typically a little bit cooler, even though we do have several trays of peppers and the tomatoes that do like it a little bit warmer. They just won't grow as fast. So we do the same thing. We use plastic here. We have a large curtain rod at the top. It comes down and it goes all the way down to the bottom. And I just close it up and kind of wrap it around as to keeping most of the heat. And it works great for us. I think that maybe next year I'll do the same thing, but it was very, very inexpensive. The roll of plastic at Walmart was like $7, and I just used rods that we had, and I think it works really well for us. So that's all for now. Have a good day. Bye.